Okay, I am back. I told you I was gonna come back. Okay, so if you didn't check out my last video for who we talked about, go ahead and check that out. That video was on. Let me give you real quick. I'm not gonna do a recap. I'm just gonna tell you who we talked about. We talked about Benjamin O. Davis Sr., who served as a U.S. Army general, and then we also spoke about Frederick Douglass, who was an abolitionist. Y'all got it. And an author. And now we're going to go to Charles Drew. Some of you guys may have heard about him. Um, but before we go on, me and Bailey want you guys to hit that like button. Go ahead and hit subscribe. All right. Give us a thumbs up. And while y'all doing that, we're going to get situated. But before we get situated, I got to show y'all Bailey's little boots. Ain't she cute? Pants coming down. There she go. Her little clothes was coming down. But anyway, y'all see baby little boots. Ain't they cute? Okay. Anywho, everybody was cute. I didn't get to show y'all everybody's outfit, but they were cute. Anywho, Bailey gonna sit here because Bailey good baby. She always sleep. So we're gonna read Charles Drew. Now listen. I don't know if y'all heard about Charles Drew, but he's a dope dude. He's pretty dope, okay? Listen up. He was a physician. He was born in 1904 and he passed away in 1950. As a young man, Charles Drew was an exceptional athlete, starring in football, baseball, basketball, and track and field at Dunbar High School in Washington, D.C. All right. He was an All-American halfback and a captain of the track team at Amherst College in Massachusetts. Because he couldn't afford medical school in the United States, Drew attended McGill University in Montreal, but later moved back to the United States to teach at, guess what, Howard University Medical School. All right. Drew went on to do research at Columbia University in New York, becoming the first. Y'all better catch these first things going on because this is where the history come in at. He became becoming the first African American to get a medical doctorate at the prestige school. Did y'all hear that? You better listen up if you ain't listening. He became the world's leading author on blood transfusions. Yes, I did say blood transfusion. It's where people take the blood. Blood. If you don't have no blood and you need some blood, that dude right here. This the dude that discovered that. This dude. This guy right here. All right. What's his name? Y'all better get with it, Charles Drew. I told you he was a dope dude. All right, listen up. Okay, so let me go back a little bit. All right. He became the world's leading authority on blood transfusion and storage. His research established procedures for how blood should be collected and refrigerated and how blood donors should be recruited and screened, as well as training methods for people who would collect and test blood. His research on plasma, the liquid portion of the blood without cells, made it possible for blood to be banked for long periods of time. Drew's work was especially important as the United States prepared for World War II. As a medical director of the American Red Cross National Blood Donor Service, Drew led the collection of tens of thousands of pints of blood for the U.S. troops. Some historians said Drew's work may have saved the world from Nazism, since battlefield blood storage and transfusion didn't exist before them. Basically extinct, because the Nazis was a little bit hectic. All right. When the United States ruled that blood of African Americans would be segregated and not used on white troops, even though blood has no racial characteristics, Drew was outraged and resigned from the Red Cross. He returned to Washington, D.C. as a professor at the Howard University and head of surgery at Freeman's Hospital, where he trained many black physicians. Drew continued to work as a physician until his untimely death in a car crash. So sad. Because he was a medical pioneer who saved millions of lives. Once again, that was Charles Drew, okay? Charles Drew. And the only reason why I knew about Charles Drew was because I too had studied in the lab. I liked the work that you did in the lab with the blood. So that was a part of history that I had learned early on. But that's why I said he was a pretty dope dude, because you know, a lot of people can die not having the right blood, you know, so you get to test the blood, and there's different types of blood that people may have, you know. There's blood that is universal, with what they call universal, and this is something again that he did, and they can service almost anybody, but it's pretty close to pretty much anybody. That's why they call it universal, because it's O positive blood, and a couple of my sisters had that. But of course, you know, I'm down to one that has it, but still, there's many people in the world that has it. The other thing is that the plasma stuff. I worked in the plasma center, so that was something that was interesting too. And so you guys need to learn a lot of stuff. So when you go into school, like I had learned this in a vocational center. I don't know if they give you guys that now, but it helped out a lot for me in my career and stuff that I started. And also, it gives you a head start on just life in general, learning how to work out there and get different jobs. And I just wanted to expound on that because I don't know what you guys are learning in school. I don't even think they're giving y'all vocational centers. I think you got to pay for those classes now, pay for stuff like that, where it was free for us. And so I had a jump start. I was going to school. In high school, I did my work, but I also had an extra school to go to while I was in high school. And it was basically to learn a job on the outside, professional job on the outside of high school. So I did that. I actually used that skill, and I did do some things where I did earn a certificate and became an assistant. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Moving right along to the next person that y'all need to know something about is W.E.B. Du Bois. All right, and I'm pretty sure you guys heard about this guy too. He was a sociologist, writer, an activist, and he was born in 1868, and he passed away in 1963. Let me give y'all a quick picture of how this guy looked. All right. Okay. All right. Moving right along. William Edward Badog. Oh, I can't even say that name. I'm gonna just say William Edward Du Bois. The first, once again, y'all better catch up on these names. This first African American to receive a PhD from Harvard University. Who did I say that got their first PhD from Harvard? First black one. All right, y'all better remember. Was a brilliant scholar who changed how black people saw their place in the world. But he was also a political activist who helped start the NAACP. I told you guys about that. If you don't know what it is, guess what you got to go do? Go look at the videos. All right. A crusade against lynching. And just in case y'all don't know what lynching is, it was, it's where just basically, I'm going to be blunt with you guys, not to scare you, but this is part of history that y'all need to know. It's where they hung black people. They hung people in a tree and tried to untie black people across the world. His most famous book is The Souls of Black Folk, was published in 1903, and introduced the ideal of double conscience, in which blacks always have to think about how white people see them. Du Bois rejected the arguments of Booker T. Washington, the most influential black leader of the time, who asked blacks to accept discrimination while trying to prove they were worthy of equal treatment through hard work. Instead, Du Bois believed blacks should actively fight discrimination and racism. Du Bois acted on his belief. He helped start the NAACP and was the founder and first editor of its crusading magazine. The crisis, he criticized President Woodrow Wilson for resegregating the federal government and continually spoke up for social justice. Du Bois ran for the United States Senate in New York, representing the American Labor Party, and became chair of the Peace Information Center, which sought to ban nuclear weapons around the world. At one point, Du Bois was arrested and charged with being an agent of the Soviet Union. Go figure. He was found not guilty and later moved to Ghana, where he stayed until the end of his life. Because he explained the conflict of nature of being an African American. So I want you guys to go and check out this guy too. Sounds pretty good. Just in case if you didn't know, now you know some information on these two guys. So we had Charles Drew, who was a physician, and we have W.E.B. Du Bois, who was a sociologist, a writer, and an activist. Once again, that's Du Bois. And really quick, This is Charles Drew. All right. So until next time, again, if you want to find out, this is, again, the Fierce 44 Black Americans Who Shook Up the World. I need you guys to go ahead and check that book out if you haven't. And if not, you can definitely get it because it's around the surfing the net. I think I paid like $4 for this book. It was $10 before. So that just goes to tell you that you have some information. But I'll be back to read you a couple of more stories. How about that? In the meantime, go ahead and hit that like button and check out these next videos. All right. Love y'all.